My name's Shiron Kirkman, and we live in the Riverina, and we've run our own business for 23 years, which is a contract harvesting business. And we also are primary producers with just a small horticultural farm in the Riverina. And I also work in marketing as well. Because I had a good feeling after seeing you interview people and talk on the group, and it was very much a spur of the moment type of decision that was always going to be based on how that first introduction went, because it wasn't just about myself. As you know, you and Jordan have met Mark and he gave you, your 5 minutes. And for him, it was literally, it's the first 30 seconds, and he was either going to say, yeah, I trust these guys, let's go, or no. So lucky you guys were, honest and straightforward. And he was like, yeah, no, they seem like top guys, let's do it. So the next step after deciding to go with property principles and go with property investing was filling in the information on the platform, and which not only helped you guys get your head around where we were at, but also ourselves. So it was excellent, a great tool, and we could really visually see, because it pops up in its graphs and it's right there, and we could visually see that yes, we were definitely on the right track, ready. And not only that, but these were the type of price points that we should be looking at, not just making it up out of our head, oh, this is what we should be investing in, but actually seeing what we could afford, and what would make the most sense at our age, because we are older as first-time property investors. The communication was excellent. Being able to reach out either by phone or email, and sometimes for me email is better, because if I'm talking, starting to talk about it, and especially when it's an emotional thing, I forget what I'm saying or don't quite, put it across. So being able to just, put those very long-winded essays via email, and having you come back and actually answer each of my queries with factual information is what made the difference. Yeah. And the data, the data, this is the data, and we could, of course, at any time decided not to continue, but it was presented in a way where you do know that you're making the right decision. Honestly, I can't say enough. I really can't. And Mark and I are so busy that it was such a smooth process. But I have to admit, at one stage, I was kind of a bit nervous, like I hadn't done, have I been ticking the boxes? Is there something else I should? Why is this so smooth? And literally, it was just because the team that you have around you and who you trust, because you've dealt with them before, whereas for us buying out of state, we would not have had those connections. That team has just made the process excellent, and I have recommended them as well to quite a number of people, and I've also used your conveyancer or the conveyancer for something else as well, because for some separate advice, because they're just such a great team, and they're very much like your own team. So they're very much like property principles in terms of personable. So pick up the phone, have a chat with them, let them know your concerns. They immediately get back to you. It's great communication, and we're at the heart of it, we're still country people, and that's the way we like to do business. And so the entire team were like that all the way through. Did it was the process smooth so that we could continue to do what we do best? Absolutely. Did we achieve our investing goals? I definitely think that we did. I mean, short term, I have no doubt long term, but who knows with the way the world is. But definitely short term. And do we now have a team around us who can help us move forward with further properties? Tick, yes. So yeah, I think we did. Another buyer's agent who have become in the last decade quite large. So immediately we didn't feel like, even though their first touch point was excellent, once we got to the buyer's agent side, we didn't feel like we really had a connection with them, and like we were just another number, and the person that we were talking to probably had never seen any of these places that we were interested in. Actually, I'm 100% sure they've never seen or been out of the suburb in the city that they lived in. So immediately for us, even though they're quite successful and excellent at what they do, immediately for us, we just did not feel comfortable with moving forward with that. Whereas when we spoke to yourself, one of those times was when you were actually had flown to a particular location to drive around for a couple of days and meet with the real estate agent and take a look at the streets and the infrastructure, the schools, the hospitals, what was physically happening within that region, rather than it just being numbers in a spreadsheet. And so when we rang you, you had the boots on the ground, and so that was excellent for us. It was exactly what we were looking for, and it was interesting because it was a particular place that you were in that you had been interested in because of the data, but when you were there, you realized that no, it wasn't right for particular clients that you have. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who just doesn't have that experience or has never had the boots on the ground, then you're just never going to get that feedback. So for you to be honest, to say, because in terms of the data, it still would have looked like a great deal, I'm sure. But for you to actually be honest enough to say, listen, I'm here, and no, there's, just would not recommend this. Especially for Mark, he was, yep, absolutely, that's, what we're looking for. So yeah, really important.